Hello humans, Master Interflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today I'll be going over, again, Agents. Now this one's very interesting because we got the ban list announced. Turns out my predictions were 100% right, but we all knew that was going to happen. But regardless, because of that, Elf is now banned. And one singular comment said, hey, this, you'll have to change this combo, it no longer works. Except, I want to demonstrate something about this combo, so once and for all, you can kind of see the point I'm trying to get at, and how it's not as easy to deal, like, it's not as easy for Konami to destroy as like people might think it is, because yeah, Agents, it's not the most competitive deck, it is a combo deck and it has some hard needles, but even regardless of that, when you objectively look at its inboard and how it ends that inboard, you'll notice a pattern that is arguably so resistant to like any extra deck ban. The only interaction that could actually deal with it is like a ban to its actual engine, which is not worth anyone's time. So let's go ahead and get into it. For this combo, we had to change around some stuff. So now this combo does require 2 discards, which means if your hand has 2 shine balls, this combo no longer works. Or let me rephrase that. It's not that it no longer works, it's now you have to make a weaker combo. But I mean, to be fair, that's fair. Like, you open 2 shine balls 100% of the time, so it is what it is. But regardless, we're going to start off with Fairy Body plus Earth. The most iconic combo for this channel and this deck. There's like a lot of stuff with Venus and whatnot. With the removal of Elf, it does not hit this deck's ceiling. It actually hits its consistency floor. It opens a lot less consistently because things like Venus can no longer be a starter and things like that, because of the fact that Diviner goes back to where it was in some of the earliest interactions in this deck of just being a terrible 1-card starter. When Elf was around and Fibrex was around, it allowed Elf to be a 1-card combo, and even when it was banned, Fibrex was banned, Elf still had a lot of ways to bring out Diviner from the deck, and that's when Diviner is good in this deck, is when it can be accessed from the extra deck. But now that Elf is gone, that's just not possible, so it goes back to being a pretty horrendous normal summon, which is why I avoided playing it for the longest time until, well, Elf. But now that Elf is gone, you lose that package, and you lose a lot of ways to get to tuners like that. But regardless, this combo remains unchanged, and more importantly, it's important to remember there's like so many ways to consistently get to this setup and substitute this setup. So let's just get into it. We'll go ahead, we have Neptune, we'll link these 2 into Moon, and with Moon we will dump Majesty Hyperion. And another reason I was avoiding this deck all of last format, despite the fact that I was avoiding because it's a tier 0 format, is because too many Bystials in the game. I know a lot of people like to justify Bystials with whatever dumb reason, but the truth is, like, so many Light and Dark decks, like, Light and Dark decks are designed to be in the graveyard. And while that does suck, it's not like there are consistent, like, there are an equal amount of Fire decks to Light or Dark or Wind or whatever. Like, I would argue half plus the game gets screwed over by Bystials, and that kind of design is miserable. So I hope they kind of deal with those in the future. But right now, the amount of worry we have to have about those cards is a lot less, so I'm a lot more fine with demonstrating this video. So we'll go ahead and do the classic Neptune Majesty interaction, and we will go ahead and search the Sanctuary in the sky. Yes. And we'll go ahead and activate it. Now, like I said before, when you have one of the searches you already need outside of Sanctuary in the Sky, like if you already had Neptune or you already had Dark Venus, it allows you to search like some of the traps, which is really nice. But I'm going to demonstrate this in its most simple form. Now, we will make Master Flare Hyperion. It will dump Venus. And of course, Venus will bring out 3 balls from the deck, which will cost us 1,500 life points. Now, we will go ahead and turn one of the balls and Moon into Parshath, and this is where first discard comes in, and we will search Dark Venus. Again, none of this is actually different at all from what we've already done, because the only thing this link needs to be is a tuner that is, not a tuner, a link 2 that is able to be link summoned with, and it's exact same setup. So, like, nothing here is ban-worthy, and nothing here has changed. So now we will turn into Apollosa. And now, finally, this is the part of the combo that always changes when something in the extra deck has to be changed around. Like, always. This is how it always ends up. And what has happened here is nothing. Like, here's the point I'm going to get across. We're going to pay 1,500 to revive these 3 balls. And the point I'm trying to get across with every time I demonstrate this combo is how incredibly open-ended it is when you have a level 3 tuner and a bunch, not only these 3 level 2s here, but then an additional 3 level 2s from Hyperion. There is so much you can do right here that it is ridiculous. And in some cases, what you can do is arguably better than what you had prior. The only problem with Fibrax and Elf being hit is not this combo. Again, it's like the lower level combos and consistency boost that are what those cards hit. Because I'm just going to demonstrate right now what I have decided to do for this combo. We're going to go into a Excel Synchron, which, by the way, all these Synchro tuners that are low level, all of them are insanely powerful. Which is why I don't like. It's why I think Ib and Dinglong are just not ban-worthy, because the only applications you would ever have for those cards already exist in other cards. So, yeah. And this one, I actually think is specifically the best one for this scenario, because we are going to dump Jet Synchron, which is a soft Garnet, because if we drew it, Parshath discarded it, so it doesn't matter. And it can increase or decrease its level by what the level was sent. We're going to increase its level by 1, so we will turn this level 6 and level 2 into Borreload Savage Dragon. And Savage Dragon will go ahead and equip the Parshath for 3 counters. Next, we are going to discard that other card to revive the Jet Synchron, and we will synchro these 2 into Metal Marcher, which of course will revive a tuner, which is going to be Earth. And now, like I said, we still have the Flare Hyperion being Venus, so we will summon a ball, and we will turn Earth and the ball into Cupid Pitch. And Cupid Pitch, we're actually going to lower its level, which is interesting because once we summon this other ball, we can make Arclight. Now, you might be wondering why not just go to the Arclight immediately, and that's because of Cupid Pitch's effect to search a monster with exactly 600 defense when it's used as Synchro Material. So at the payment of an extra 500 life points, we get a follow-up. And then finally, we still have one more ball in the deck that I have already paid for, and we will turn the Marcher and the ball into Pluto. So, do you know what's familiar about this end board that has been the same on every other end board I've shown off? Whether it be with Fibrax and Elf, with Fibrax, all of them have something in common. They have 6 disruptions, which is what we have right here, and in addition, a monster whose disruption protects the lower attack disruptions from being casually ran over. This has come in ways of like Firewall, IP, this has come in Mirage Lights, and all different variations, but it's still the exact same inboard. This is what I kind of meant. This right here, this combo, never really changes no matter what gets banned. And that's kind of the tricky thing when I say, like, when the deck gets hit, it it's never the ceiling that gets hit. It is the floor. Like, Elf and Fibrex getting hit do have hurt this deck, but because of that, there's like an alternative always to the highest end boards. But I don't even think that's too much to worry about, because the only thing that's changed is now Diviner is back to being as bad as it used to be, so now you have to go back to pivoting to try to get to Earth. Like, that's the only thing that has really changed. It's like Diviner just is arguably not good enough to play anymore as a starter. And that's it. That's the only thing that's changed. I think this is hilarious. Despite the fact that 2 massively massive bans have hit this extra deck, it hasn't changed anything. And I think this is a perfect demonstration of why this is probably the last time I am ever going to show this combo on this channel if I can help it. Because every time I have to redo it, nothing changes. And I think this is like a perfect example of it. The only time anything like this is going to change is if Apollosa gets banned. I can't even say this because this will still be here. Like, even if this is banned, this will just be Baron. Like, enablers have to be banned for this combo to actually truly change. Not even enablers, like hard engine enablers like this need to be banned for this to change. But until then, here's the exact same combo I've showed off multiple different times, even though a major player got banned. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.